All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Saiki K, Season 2, Episode 18. Oh, man, another episode. In these intro bits, I'm always a little bit like, what do we talk about? Because the previous stuff from the episode doesn't necessarily matter, you know, because it's just a bunch of skits and it's wonderful.
But I think it's time, because I think we saw like half a frame of the new character, so I think they're going to get introduced this episode.
And from what we've seen in the OP, they seem like quite the character. They seem a bit.
They seem like they have also
Psyche?
that that fisheye lens like kind of like thing where it kind of like distorts the eyes and splits them there when you have a character that's losing their mind a little bit.
Exactly.
So if this is the character that's like constantly on the verge of a mental breakdown, but it's funny. I
see the reason that they're constantly on the verge of a mental
that.
breakdown is because they've just been interacting with Nendo too much, and he just not-oyed one too many times.
See,
you know?
I would love the idea of someone getting frustrated with Nendo, but I actually think what I would appreciate even more is if someone who's able to kind of realize how weird this world is because the mind control doesn't work on them. So they're like, why is everyone thinking this is normal?
I'm being gaslit by the universe.
Right. The entire universe is trying to gaslight me. This guy's fucking needles in his head. This guy has a balls chin. What the fuck is going on? Like that's what I would like. You know,
that I could totally see that being.
Because if there's people like
Nendo,
right, then there has to be people that are sort of like that, where things don't work on them, but it's specifically the like elements that would be like assumed to have already worked on everybody.
Well, and see, that's the wonderful thing about Nendo. While, you know, Saiki can't really use his powers on him very, very well because he's Nendo. Nendo also is the kind of person that just wouldn't question anything. So,
nothing at all.
You know, he doesn't need to use his telepathy on him.
True. Yeah. But y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. Judgment lights up. Wow, this is the best lip syncs I've ever had to sing, you know?
Yeah, I love that it's just like, no, we're not even doing lip flaps, like not really, like it's just text boxes.
Yep.
There you go, make it easier. This is the real reason that we didn't get a dub for Season 2 of Saiki. They were just like, yeah, we're gonna do it, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be...
Oh, no.
There's no one
Fuck
we could...
that.
Not happening.
We couldn't even
can't
get
do it. Not
Eminem
today.
we didn't even get Eminem to like do it.
You can just feel like rap god. Yeah. Okay. So here we are.
Akechi Touma. One of the worst enemies Saiki could have.
Yep.
Someone that is not only a fast stream of consciousness talker, but someone that has a really, really good memory and a very, I would say, suspicious amount of intelligence. Because not only do they have a past with Saiki, so they remember seeing Saiki do some things that were clearly psychic powers.
So they're starting in dangerous territory.
Right. But he's able to then extrapolate from there, therefore, psychics exist in this world, so I'm going to focus entirely on anything that could remotely be connected to Saiki being a psychic.
Yep. Okay.
Terrifying.
That's a fun way to bring in callbacks to previous skits and situations and all of that stuff.
Like the island.
Awesome. Like the island, yeah.
The island is a great example of where Saiki had to be very much taking advantage of how stupid his friends are.
Yep, exactly.
Otherwise, they would have been like, there's no chance that this happened this way.
Right, exactly. But that being said, I want him gone.
I do not like the amount of effort it takes to just keep track with what he's saying.
Right, like
his shtick is annoying.
I am used to being kind of exhausted by Saiki K episodes because the jokes will sometimes just come at me so fast that I feel like it's actual like work processing it all, you know? And then by the time it's done, I'm like, whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
I need to. Yeah. I need to go have some ramen, take a break, you know, whatever, something like that, right?
Edwin.
But like in a similar situation to like the editing skits, right, where it's like you take that energy, but then also make it be something that's aggravating or just less entertaining, and then it's like, no, please stop. But okay.
Can't do it.
Yeah, can't do it. Can't do it.
All right.
Robotic cat, but I liked that.
Yeah, having the
ranking of mascots. Yep.
Yeah, and having it be a robot, I think that's a really cool thing to have something that could be a bit of continuity.
Sure.
In the future, because it should stick around, because there's no reason for Saiki's mom to be allergic to it.
And potential also commentary.
Conflict.
Well, sure. I was going to say just the whole thing kind of being meta commentary on the idea of the mascots, where you have this cat who thinks he's the mascot, but it's actually just an awful cat. But it's cute, so you should like it, right?
Right.
And then this cat comes along that is like the literally engineered to be like the perfect mascot.
Well, how we're on sync with that. We knew exactly.
And so of course it's just a robot made by Saiki's brother, right? Because something like this wouldn't exist.
Nope.
You know?
Nope.
Yeah.
It's kind of the thing of where it pulls me out of some stories a little bit. But if the comedy is just good enough, I then just kind of give it a watch.
Yeah, you give it a pass because it's like it's fun. So who cares if it's potentially a bit immersion breaking.
But that's where in some ways like a show like One Piece just has the perfect mascot character.
Right.
Like just at least for shonen in general, is just having a character that's just a fully fleshed out character with actual like emotional like just full through line of their character and then goals and all this other stuff and
then it's just
relationships and
the world itself is
cute, but
can absolutely be cute, and the world is wacky enough where having that cute mascot totally fits and doesn't like stand out as being something odd.
Right, but they're also just actually just a fully three-dimensional character as well. They're not a pervert shtick like Kon in Bleach, for instance,
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You
You forgot about that, didn't you?
No.
But I'll take every opportunity I can to just to dog on Bleach again. Even if it doesn't deserve that necessarily.
That takes me back, yeah.
But yeah. No, Saiki K loves making references to other ones, but One Piece wasn't referenced here, so I'll move on to something else.
Sure.
But Psycho getting actual character focus here to follow up on the Nendo interactions that he had in the past. I love that so much because Nendo's power basically is that he basically fucks with everybody's rules as to how you have to respond to them.
Yep.
Like
no one expects the Nendo Inquisition.
Right, exactly.
No one ever does.
Nendo cried for you, Psycho.
Yeah, and I almost wanted to make like an art style change joke because then when he was crying, it was like in so much more detail, than
so
the show
good,
normally is, right? but yeah, and I gotta say, for a character like Psycho that doesn't have many appearances, because I think he could totally get old if he was around a lot,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
And so it's a good thing to keep him out of the story for the most part.
Yeah. He's kind of like Mera in that regard. Mera is like, really like specific types of food. You can't have a bunch of it all in a row,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when he does show up, I gotta say his track record for being like skits that I end up being invested in, not just in a comedic sense, the whole thing of like him getting carted around by the other people at the school,
But that leads to a discussion about the way that they're like, no, we actually want to be his friend, but it feels so sad that he keeps forcing us to take money.
Right.
And when we don't actually want it.
Right. Because, like, on the one hand, you could say that, like, okay, yes, does Psycho totally just power trip on the fact that he can throw money at people and have them do whatever he wants?
Yes.
Yes. But if they end up actually being like, hey, you're a cool dude, we want to hang out with you, separate from the idea of money, and then it sort of just doesn't let that happen.
It gets soured because he keeps forcing that.
Right. And then
I think that's a really cool flaw.
Yeah. Like, that's a genuinely cool flaw. And we get to see it actually have work done on it and progress be made and everything that also causes him to interact with the other characters that we care about
in a different way than how he usually does.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so the Psycho skits I'm convinced are like solid A tier like Saiki skits fairly consistently, and I don't see that changing. Like I feel like
they're
the
kind of
mangaka,
like a good Aren skit,
Yeah, exactly. Like the mangaka clearly knows what they're doing with Psycho as a character, even though he's very much a gag shtick character and all that stuff. And it works.
Season 2 brought in a bunch of new characters that are in the like, whoa, these are just amazing characters. And I think that's in some ways the manga realizing that some of the characters like Hairo and Chio are kind of lacking in some of the dimensionality.
Now, to be fair, I think that Chio is a plenty entertaining character.
Yes.
And I wish that Chio was brought into skits more, but it's more like her archetype is switched to where it's the...
Yes.
No,
she's literally a different character now.
She's literally a different character now, and it's the nobody likes her, she's not popular, so she's going to be in the skits just so that we can have her not be in the skit, right? Like, and that totally can work too, But yeah, like Hyro doesn't work as well. Imu,
Reita.
yeah, Reita definitely not. And they even made the joke of like the characters getting killed off and like it's some murder investigation or whatever. And Reita's at the top.
And the
Imu?
the Gyaru, Aira was the detective basically.
Oh right, yeah, because she's the new character that just
cool and
and all
yeah.
that stuff. Yeah, exactly, and very much being kept around. But then like Imu, who even is Imu? Like, when was the last time she was
I like Imu's appearances though. I feel like she's handled more efficiently than just liberally and thrown about,
Sure, doesn't overstay her welcome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah, we had the sweet potato callback to the bug situation where Saiki can't handle that and thus uses his powers involuntarily. And there were some moments where, very, very close moments where Akechi Touma almost noticed.
Almost got it.
Yeah.
But he figured out the perfect way to do it. I thought he was going to use his powers on Nendo. No, even better.
Use them on Nendo. Powers on Nendo.
Well, sure. But or make Nendo look like him to a particular person, But no, he does it with Mera because Mera is the one who is going to be disciplined, doesn't give a shit about bugs.
Yeah.
They could be crawling on her face. She is getting those sweet potatoes.
Right.
And nothing is going to stop her.
That was amazing.
Yeah, and he gets her to do it by just being like, "Hey, I'll give you a sweet potato if you do it." And then she's
don't say a word.
Done.
Just don't
Done.
speak.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you need. He did his own version of the psycho kind of treatment of having somebody that's a slave that does whatever he wants. I will say there is a part of me that is still a little bit sad that we don't have we don't continue that background joke with Psycho of Mera just being like,
yes,
yep, I'll do whatever you want. But see, it's really to protect her character trait, because otherwise she wouldn't be poor anymore. Like, she eats a lot, but not that much.
Not that much.
Yeah.
Sweet potatoes are also almost superfoods from what I remember.
They are one of
really
the better carb options you can go for.
One of the best, as far as I remember.
And they taste pretty great too.
Yeah. But okay, all right. This is another episode. This is a Saiki K episode where we brought a new character in, and I am going to have to deal with their shtick. I don't dislike their character, but their shtick is very annoying. So I'm gonna have to adjust a little bit to when they're there.
It's
and
that
maybe
balancing.
not try to catch every single thing that they say.
Like
that's just
it's too much. It's too much. But on the plus side, they do cause some fun interactions to happen with Saiki because then he's in situations where he has to creatively figure out how to keep his powers a secret.
Yeah.
And so antics can ensue.
Yeah, and I have to go and look up what his voice actor is, or who his voice actor is, sorry. Because I believe it's the voice actor for Midoriya.
He did sound very similar.
It might not be. It could be somebody else. I'll have to go and check. It would be really funny though if it was like Armin or something like that, because the character gave me an Armin vibe when I saw their design,
the haircut and everything. Yeah,
right, and
and the bit of psycho eyes. But if it is the voice actor for Deku, that would make a lot of sense because Deku's thing, especially early on, was all the rambling and stuff. So it's like, hey, get that guy. He'll be perfect.
Right, but that's the thing. This is on a whole other level. So the amount of skill required to voice act in this way, I don't understand the Japanese, but I'd almost want to know, are they slurring their words? Are they blurring the consonants?
I think it's something where
are they finding a way to cheat it out?
Absolute motor mouth, but then also I think they're overlaying the I wouldn't be surprised if
they're overlaying in the same way that they're each other.
Yeah, in the same way that they're overlaying the text bubbles, they're doing something similar with the voice tracks. Just
100%, but still, it's pretty fast.
But still, it's damn impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive enough that if not for the fact that it would be covering up any potential lip flaps, dubbing this character would just be impossible. Impossible.
Yeah. So they would just overlay in the dub as well, though, then.
Exactly. Yeah. They'd be able to use the same tricks. And
yeah. And we would actually probably still understand it relatively well because our brains are pretty good at filtering and understanding
watching
the
YouTube
context.
videos at double speed, and so it's just like,
but if you literally hear it in a crowd of people, like 3 people talking simultaneously, you can still pick out keywords.
Right.
If you stop trying to focus on one person talking, you can I don't know if you know how to do this or if you've ever tried to do this, where you enter a flow state where you're like, I'm going to just hear everything.
I've tried to do that occasionally.
Have you ever tried to do it the other way, where it's you focus on one person's words in a sea of noise?
Sometimes, but the thing is that in order to do that involves me being in places with a lot of people.
Right.
And, you know, I just don't do that very much.
I resonate with that. Yeah, for sure. But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.